I opened my email one morning and nearly dropped my phone. Right there, in bold letters, was an official decree from my HOA president, Nicole Whitmore, ordering me to hand over my private lake cabin so her daughter could host a wedding with 100 guests. When she later showed up at my gate, waving a crowbar and live streaming the whole stunt, I realized this wasn't a joke. It was a full-on invasion. Act 1. The beginning of trouble. I'm Terry Morrison, mid-40s, small-town guy. Inherited my family's cabin by the lake. My granddad Harold built it in the 60s, and I've spent years fixing it up. It's my getaway, my sanctuary. And the last thing I ever expected was for an HOA to try to steal it right out from under me. See, Nicole Whitmore is one of those people who breathes authority like oxygen. She's HOA president, queen of the neighborhood, struts around like every property is hers by divine right. Everyone calls her Karen behind her back, but nobody dares say it to her face. That morning, her email came through with the subject line, "Mandatory Cabin Transfer, HOA Decree 666. Yeah. She actually numbered it. Said I owed the HOA $10. $1,000 in penalties if I didn't hand over the cabin for community use, which just happened to be her daughter's wedding. At first, I laughed. It was so absurd. I thought maybe someone was pranking me. But then I clicked the link in the email and my jaw dropped. Nicole had created a full website, complete with photos of my cabin, advertising it as a wedding venue. She'd already collected deposits from people. She was running a whole business on my property without my knowledge. That afternoon, she pulled up to my driveway in her Lexus SUV, clipboard in hand, flanked by 3 teenage boys in matching polos like they were her private security team. She marched right up to my porch and declared, "The HOA is taking possession of this cabin for a special event. Step aside." I pulled out my phone and started recording. The kids glanced at the camera, realized this was going online, and took off running. Nicole hissed at them to come back, then snapped at me. "You can't film me. I'm on official business." Official business? My ass. I kept recording, and I knew right then I wasn't going to roll over. Act 2. Escalation and the twist. Nicole wasn't the type to take no quietly. The next day, a makeshift encampment popped up just outside my gate, exactly 101 feet from my property line, so she could claim she wasn't trespassing. She set up tents, hung banners saying "Cabin Stolen by Terry," and blasted music from a rented DJ booth. It looked like a tailgate party from hell. She even brought in porta potties and declared it the official staging area for the Whitmore wedding. And of course, she live-streamed every second, ranting about how selfish I was, how the community deserved access to my cabin. And people started showing up angry, confused, waving printed receipts. Turns out she'd taken more than $30,000 in deposits from families who thought they were booking my cabin as a venue. They demanded refunds. Nicole blamed me, called me a thief on camera, said I was sabotaging her daughter's special day. I sat inside my cabin, listening to the music thumping outside, my phone buzzing non-stop with angry emails from people demanding their money back. At one point, I just sat down on the old wooden floor and put my head in my hands. I thought, maybe I should just give her the damn cabin for one weekend, let her have her circus, let it blow over, and maybe my life goes back to normal. That thought disgusted me. I felt weak, cowardly, like I was letting my granddad down, letting myself down. But then help came from places I didn't expect. Mrs. Clark, my neighbor, a retired lawyer, knocked on my door with a stack of papers. "Your cabin's been private property since 1964, she told me. I pulled the records myself. The HOA never had a claim here. Then she handed me another folder, proof that Nicole had been scamming people, cashing their checks straight into a personal account. And the kicker, some of Nicole's so-called allies in the neighborhood finally broke ranks. One by one, people started slipping me copies of contracts, screenshots of her texts, bank transfers. Nicole wasn't just bullying me, she was ripping off the whole community. Suddenly, I realized I wasn't alone, and if I fought back, I could bring her whole scheme crashing down. Act 3. The showdown. The night before the wedding, Nicole lost her patience. She showed up at my gate with a crowbar, glittering in the headlights, and announced to her live stream, "We are taking back what belongs to us." Her security team banged on the gate, cameras rolling, while Nicole raised the crowbar like she was about to pry it open. But she didn't know I'd prepared. See, my granddad Harold was an inventor of sorts. Years ago, he'd rigged a sprinkler system for the cabin lawn. I'd upgraded it with a little twist. Instead of water, those pipes were filled with biodegradable glitter. Bright, sticky, impossible to wash off. So the second Nicole swung that crowbar against my gate, I hit the switch. A rainbow storm of glitter exploded from the sprinklers, coating her team, the tents, the DJ booth. The crowd gasped, then laughed, then pulled out their phones. Nicole screamed, slipped, and fell flat in the mud, her face shining green under the floodlights. She tried to stand and shouted, "This is my cabin. Brad proposed to me here." That's when Mrs. Clark stepped forward with a megaphone. Brad proposed at the old lakeside gazebo. "Nicole, it was torn down 5 years ago. You've been lying this entire time." The guests, hundreds of them, realized they'd been conned. People started demanding refunds, shouting at her, turning their phones on her instead of me. Nicole, drenched in glitter, waving her crowbar, became the spectacle. And then the sirens came. Sheriff's deputies rolled in, lights flashing, and the crowd parted. The sheriff read Nicole her rights right there at the gate. Fraud, impersonation, trespassing, harassment. They cuffed her while she wailed about being the queen of Glitter Nation. Her followers scattered, leaving her alone, sparkling under the spotlights as they shoved her into the squad car. Ending. I stood at the gate, arms crossed, watching it all unfold. No cheering, no gloating, just relief. Because in the end, Nicole didn't just lose her grip on power. She became a punchline. The woman who tried to steal my cabin for a wedding went down as Glitter Karen, remembered not for her authority, but for her arrogance. A final lesson. When arrogance writes the rules, reality makes the punchline.